Hello, good morning to all. Once again, here I am showing angular momentum. Already you people studied in previous class the momentum of rotating body. Angular momentum is equal L is equal I omega. How can we measure the momentum of rotating body? The product of moment of inertia and its angular velocity, which is equal to angular momentum. So here in the given picture, the direction of angular momentum is here. Here the body is revolving in a clockwise direction about an axis of rotation. Here the axis of rotation is perpendicular to the plane of rotation. This is the direction of torque. So here M indicates the direction of angular momentum. But today I'm going to talk the law of conservation of angular momentum. The very most important topic. Already you people studied the law of conservation of energy in the case of freely falling body. The law of conservation of linear momentum when two bodies are colliding each other in one-dimensional elastic collisions. You people verified the law of conservation of linear momentum. But today, our main topic is principle of conservation of angular momentum. Here some pictures are there, ballet dance and the acrobats. Acrobats are doing some feats in the circus. In those cases, they are obeying law of conservation of angular momentum. By applying principle of conservation of angular momentum, they are performing these feats. The acrobat in circus and the ballet dancers. Now, before going to understanding the principle of conservation of angular momentum, I would like to show some videos. This is the question in your textbook. The question is framing like this: state and prove the principle of conservation of angular momentum. Explain the principle of conservation of angular momentum with examples. So now I'm going to explaining by taking various examples about the principle of conservation of angular momentum. So before going to explain, I would like to show some videos. Now in this video, the diver making somersault in the air before jumping into the water. Here they are also obeying the principle of conservation of angular momentum. Here ballet dance. So those who are performing ballet dance on the dais, they are also obeying principle of conservation of angular momentum. You please observe their vertical expressions on horizontal dash. So by changing their angular momentum at every instant, how they are performing ballet dance on the horizontal dash. When they are moving their hands and legs away from their body, hence their moment of inertia increases, angular velocity decreases. Again, when they are bringing towards their body, their hands and legs, inertia decreasing, velocity increases. But they always keep their angular momentum constant. There is no any torque, external torque acting on them. Such a wonderful dance you are watching on the screen. I think you never saw such a wonderful dance. Ultimate performance in ballet dance. Oof. Just only by moving their hands and legs. When they are moving their hands and legs towards nearer to their body, then they are decreasing inertia, velocity increases. Now inertia decreasing, velocity more. So there is no external torque acting on them, but they are always keeping their angular momentum is constant by changing their moment of inertia and angular velocity. But the product of them is always constant. So in this dance, the angular momentum is conserved. That is the principle of conservation of angular momentum. Now here acrobats performing some feats in the circus. You please carefully observe how they are bringing their hands and legs towards their body and away from their body. By bringing their hands and legs toward their body and away from their body, they are keeping their angular momentum constant. So here also, they are obeying the principle of conservation of angular momentum. Now his movement of inertia increases because hands and legs moving away. No external torque is acting on them. Now his legs and hands. Now you take in ballet dancer. Here also she is performing ballet dancer. Here only one secret in those all examples, when there is no external torque acting on them. Just they are moving their hands and the legs away from their body. You see? Now what when our inertia is increases, velocity decreasing. Now she is bringing their hand towards her body. Inertia decreases, velocity increases. Like this, they are keeping their angular momentum always constant. So here the angular momentum is conserved. This is nothing but the principle of conservation of angular momentum. Suppose a ballet dancer is rotating with her arms and legs stretched outwards. Her movement of inertia increases, hence angular velocity decreases. And the reverse is also true. Reverse means when she is bringing her hands towards her body. Now inertia, what happened, decreases, velocity increases. But in both cases, I1 omega 1 is equal I2 omega 2. I1 inertia, omega is equal angular velocity. But her angular momentum is conserved. So this is the principle of conservation of angular momentum. By applying this principle, ballet dancers are performing ballet dance on the horizontal dash. Now, so we can write the principle of conservation of angular momentum like this. We know that torque is equal to the rate of change of angular momentum. The torque is equal to the rate of change of angular momentum. When there is no torque, when torque is equal to 0, then what happened? dl by dt is also 0. The rate of change of angular momentum is also 0. What is by the rate of change of angular momentum 0 mean? Change in angular momentum is 0. Change in angular momentum means L1 minus L2. L1 in one position angular momentum, L2 in another position. But L1 minus change in angular momentum is 0. Then in both positions, their angular momentum is equal. L1 is equal to L2. So L is equal to I omega constant. So this is called the law of conservation of angular momentum. Principle of conservation of angular momentum. So we can define like this. When there is no external torque, when no external torque acts on a system of particles, then the total angular momentum of this system remains always a constant. So by keeping their total angular momentum constant, they are performing those feats like circus. In circus, the acrobats performing those feats. Ballet dancers performing ballet dance. And divers are making somersault in the air while jumping into the water. But you may also study other conservation laws. The law of conservation of energy in the case of freely falling body. When the body is freely falling, from certain height, then what happened? The energy of the body will be changes. When the body is at extreme height, the body has only potential energy. Kinetic energy is 0. While falling in the middle, the body has both energies. After reaching the ground, the body has only kinetic energy. But the total energy of the body is constant. The energy of the body is conserved. The total energy is constant. Similarly, here also, in the law of conservation of angular momentum, moment of inertia increases, angular velocity decreases. When moment of inertia decreases, angular velocity increases by the same amount. But angular momentum is constant. So this is called the law of conservation of angular momentum. So we can define like this. And we take some more examples. Somersault. A diver performs somersault before jumping into water. No, she. So while leaving that, she is moving her hands, legs away from her body. Inertia increases, velocity decreases. In the middle, she is bringing her legs and hands towards her body. In this case, what happens? Inertia decreasing, velocity increases, but angular momentum constant. A diver performs somersault by jumping from a high diving board, keeping his legs and arms out, and then curling his body. On doing so, angular momentum remains constant. He then performs somersault. So I1 omega 1, I2 omega 2. I1 omega 1 means when she is moving her hands and legs away, when she is bringing towards her body, I2 omega 2. The product of them is equal. The angular momentum remains constant. there is no external torque acting on him. So this is the principle of conservation of angular momentum in the case of somersaults. Now you take another beautiful example, the revolution of a planet. You see in the picture how the planets are evolving. When the planet comes closer to the sun, its moment of inertia about the sun decreases. Therefore, its angular velocity increases. The reverse is also true. So I1 omega 1 is equal to I2 omega 2. I1 omega 1 is what? When the planets are coming very nearer to the sun. In that case, moment of inertia I1, angular velocity omega 1. Again, in another instance, they are moving away. Then what happened? I2 increases, omega decreases, but their angular momentum remains constant. So that is why planets are evolving around the sun in a fixed orbit, because of they are obeying the principle of conservation of angular momentum. Now here, if you observe the orbits, the planet in which orbit they are evolving, here they are coming very closer, one side, and another they are moving away. When they are moving away, here they are moving away. Here they are moving away. Here they are moving very closer to the sun. But while revolving planets around the sun, so their total angular momentum is conserved. So the principle of conservation of angular momentum holds good in the case of revolution of planets. Now there are some questions are framed in the textbook in very short answer questions. Now you go through these questions. Why should a helicopter necessarily have two propellers in 2 marks? You see here helicopter has two propellers. So helicopter with one propeller turns in opposite direction. If helicopter has only one propeller, it will turn in the opposite direction of rotation of the propeller due to conservation of angular momentum. Thus, helicopter with two propellers balance the angular momentum and lift the helicopter in air. If it is having two propellers, what happens? The helicopter will keep its angular momentum constant. Then the helicopter will obey the principle of conservation of angular momentum. Then the helicopter can fly in the air. Now you go for another question. If the polar ice caps of the earth were to melt, what would the effect of the length of the day? If the polar ice caps of the earth, if they were melted, so what will happen? The length of the day, the time period. So length of the day means, so 1 day time is 24 hours, 86,400 seconds. If those ice caps are melting, what will happen? The time period of the earth, the duration of time for 1 day. Now you watch here how ice caps are melting. Then what will happen? The melting gas converted into water. That water spreads over the surface of the earth. If that water spread over the surface of the earth, what happened? the moment of inertia of the earth increases. When moment of inertia of the earth increases, the time period of the earth, the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution around the sun will also increases. Then what happened? Length of the day is also increases. When polar ice caps melt, the water formed will spread over the surface of the earth. As a result, the movement of inertia increases. Therefore, the time period will increases. Time period increases means length of the day increases as per this equation. You know, angular momentum is equal to I omega, where omega is equal to angular velocity of the earth. So we can write angular velocity of the earth 2 pi by t. T is equal time period. When L I omega is equal constant, get 2 by t. So as per this equation, what happened? The length of the day will be increases. That means for mean day 24 hours, 86,400 seconds. It may take more than 86,400 seconds to complete one rotation. Now another very suitable example. Another question is also there in my textbook. Why is it easier to balance a bicycle in motion? Nothing but the principle, which principle is involved while riding the bicycle. So why is it easier to balance a bicycle in motion? And here also principle of conservation of angular momentum. So while riding bicycle, there is no external torque acting on us. Now you see in this video how Ram Charan in Rangathalam, how he is riding bicycle. And now you watch how he is riding the bicycle. Not Ram Charan. One leg is moving down, the other leg is coming up. So one leg inertia increases, velocity decreases. Other leg inertia decreases, velocity increases. But angular momentum of while riding bicycle, we are keeping the angular momentum constant. So by keeping angular momentum constant, we can balance the weight of the bicycle while riding. So when no external torque is acting on bicycle, the angular momentum remains constant. Hence, the bicycle does not get tilted. So here I1 omega 1. So while riding bicycle, we are obeying the principle of conservation of angular momentum. So that is why we can balance the weight of the bicycle while riding. If the bicycle is at rest, by sitting on the bicycle, we cannot balance its weight because we are not obeying the principle of conservation of angular momentum. So totally, you people study 3 conservation laws: the conservation of angular momentum, the conservation of linear momentum, the conservation of energy. Whereas in conservation of linear momentum, the total momentum before collision, total momentum after collision. When two bodies are colliding with each other, they are exchanging their momentum. One body momentum decreases, the other body momentum increases by equal amount. That is why the total momentum is constant, conserved, decreasing, increasing, but the total momentum is constant. But there is no external force. In the same manner, so I request all of you, so you please read those 3 laws simultaneously side by side to know the difference among those 3 laws: conservation of energy, conservation of linear momentum, conservation of angular momentum. And you may also observe all different physical quantities you people studied in rotatory motion: angular displacement, angular velocity, angular acceleration, movement of inertia, torque, angular momentum, the law of conservation of angular momentum. So these are the parameters you people studied in pure rotatory motion. These all parameters are essential to describe the pure rotatory motion of the rigid bodies. Suppose some rigid bodies are having combination of translator and rotatory motion. In such case, we are using the concept of center of mass to describe the motion of the bodies. To describe the stability of the bodies, we are using the center of gravity. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.